everyone, it's Hailey, and today I'm going to be talking about some books that I would like to read this spring. I can't believe it's already spring, but also I'm so glad it's already spring. It's probably going to take a while to warm up where I live, but still, spring has officially sprung, and that just makes me happy. So with spring, it's interesting because it's the one season that I feel like I don't really gravitate toward a particular genre at all. Like with summer, I'm really into contemporaries, fluffy, easier reads. Winter, I tend to like historical fictions, fantasies, and then with fall, I like the mysterious, like vibey reads. But with spring, it's just kind of anything goes. So that is really what this TBR is. It's anything goes. It actually does happen to have some like really bright colors, which is very spring vibes, but that was entirely unintentional. It just kind of happened. So these are just some books of various genres that I would really like to get to this next season, and I'm super excited to share them with you. So today's video is sponsored by Care Of. Thank you so much to them for working with me again. I really love their service. It makes taking care of myself so easy, and anything that does that is a thumbs up for me. Just in case you guys aren't familiar with them, Care Of finds the vitamins and supplements that are right for you. It's just like having a one-on-one consultation with a nutritionist. You take their 5-minute quiz, answer some questions about your lifestyle, your diet, what your personal health goals are, and then they will recommend a tailored plan of vitamins and supplements for you to take to help you achieve those goals easily. It basically takes the thought out of everything, and their vitamin packs are compostable, which is so cool. It like makes an impact beyond just you. I've been working on my fitness and really getting strong, so in my vitamin packs, they gave me vitamin D, which supports bone health, ashwagandha, which supports muscle strength and recovery, and iron. And that's because I was recommended to have more iron in my diet. They also gave me the vanilla flavored whey protein, which I love. I love having protein powder with just like some milk. It's just great. And they also gave me the cutest little blender bottle, which I use all the time. I use that either to have my protein powder with milk, or I use it for my pre-workout in the morning before I work out. So it is just a great sized bottle. And they also gave me some of their Chill Factor quick sticks, and these help out with if you're feeling a little bit stressed at the end of the day. They will help alleviate some of that, which sometimes I definitely need that. I love how I tell them exactly what I want to do, what my goals are, and then they make their recommendations based on that, and then I can act accordingly. It's really nice to just have it all laid out to you simply in a way that I can understand. If you guys were interested, you can click the link down below and take Care Of's quiz to find out which vitamins and supplements they will recommend for you, and then you can use the coupon code Bookland50 for 50% off of your first month. So definitely be sure to check out that link down below. And thank you so much once again to Care Of for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get into the books that I am hoping to read this spring. Literally, there is like, this list is just all over the place, honestly, but the first book that I have here is The How and the Why by Cynthia Hand. I feel like I kind of like more emotional contemporaries in the springtime. I guess spring, I want to be emotional. Who knows why? But The How and the Why is a story that follows this girl who was adopted, and it is told alternating between letters from her biological mother when she was born and the main character learning more about where she came from. Honestly, I just think this book is going to make me very emotional, very sad, and like I'm gonna like love it, but at the same time it's gonna make me feel things that I don't necessarily want to feel. But I love those impactful reads, the contemporaries that have that fluffy element to them, but they also have a little bit more. So once I'm done the book, I feel like I have learned something from it, and I think that this book will definitely be that. And I have read, what was it, The Last Time We Say Goodbye by this author, which is definitely a more emotional book of hers, and really enjoyed that one, so I think I will like this one too. So switching gears here a little bit, like I said, this is kind of all over the place, but next up is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So in this, you follow a main character who, like, she finds herself basically in a situation that she wasn't expecting to be in. So there is this very rich guy who ends up dying, and he invites her to this competition to like inherit her fortune. She goes to this house and like finds that his family, who has basically been snubbed because I mean obviously they were expecting to inherit the fortune, and then he's like, no, I'm gonna give it to this random girl, like I don't even know know, like there's definitely more going on in here. So I think it's going to be a mysterious story. I've heard some amazing things about it, and it has been a book that I've been wanting to pick up since then because I just kept on seeing it everywhere and I was like, what is this all about? I must know. And now I'm ready to read it and find out why everyone has been talking about it so much. Next up is a book that I have mentioned on many a TBR, and it's time, okay? It's time. I'm finally gonna do it. And that is When You Were Everything by Ashley Woodfolk. This is a book that deals with friendship breakups. And I guess, yeah, that's definitely another like more emotional contemporary, but I think this is a topic that is super important for YA, but really any like age range or anything, but like especially in YA, you know, your life is changing so much at that time. Like it just feels like the right thing to have a book about that topic. And I am so glad that this one exists because it is one that deals with it. And I'm super excited to read it. Friendship breakups are really difficult, and having a book that deals with it, super pumped for it. At the same time, I know it's gonna make me sad, but you know, sometimes like friendship breakups happen and they have to happen and it's okay. And I'm hoping this book will have that message as well. Next up is Wicked Like a Wildfire by Lana Popovic. So I've had this book for so freaking long. And honestly, if the cover wasn't as beautiful as it is, I probably would have unhauled it by now. But this cover has made me want to hang on to it. I also have tried starting it a couple of times, and for whatever reason, I just haven't ever gone further, but I did enjoy what I read. It gives me very whimsical vibes. It's a fantasy that deals with sisters. That's all I really know, honestly. Like, it kind of reminds me of Summer of Salt. I'm not sure if it's a magical realism. Like, I don't know, but I just know I have wanted to read it, and for some reason I haven't, and I've had it for probably like 3 years now at least, and it's time. I must do it, okay? I must. Also, I feel like this cover, perfect for spring. All the flowers? Yes. Next up is The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna. So this, I honestly have no particular reason why this fantasy is sticking out to me to read this season, but it definitely is. So it deals with this world where your blood determines your status in society, and the main character, she ends up having blood that is basically not what you want, but then she ends up being like summoned to go to this army. So she thinks she's going to be outcast, but she's summoned to this army, and it is just this fantasy world based in blood, which seems super interesting. This cover is gorgeous. Like, maybe it's like the yellow makes me think of spring and that's why. I don't know, but this book has been everywhere since it was announced, and I'm so glad that I have my copy now because it seems like the perfect springtime read for no particular reason, but it does. Next is I Want to Be Where You Are by Kristina Forrest. So I actually just finished with this author's latest book, which is, what is it called? I literally just finished it this morning and I can't even think of what it's called. Now That I Found You, I think? Yeah, Now That I Found You, and really enjoyed that one. So I had wanted to read this one before, but now like I want to read it even more because I super enjoyed her writing. It read so quickly, and I think this book will definitely be that. Also, major spring vibes from this cover, but you follow a character who is a ballerina. She wants to go to ballet school, but her parents forbid her from going to this audition, so she decides that she's just going to go on this road trip and take herself there. But then her neighbor ends up catching her, and he blackmails her into taking him with her. And also there's a dog, so like road trip, dog, ballet, everything sounds great about that, honestly. So super excited for this one. Speaking of some beautiful spring covers, next is Fat Chance Charlie Vega by Crystal Maldonado. This had me immediately intrigued when I read the back of it. So coming of age as a fat brown girl in a white Connecticut suburb is hard. Harder when your whole life is on fire though. Like, relatable, honestly. My life is also on fire, so I feel that. But this cover is gorgeous, and I just love everything about that concept, and a coming of age story, I really enjoy those. That also seems perfect for springtime, so I would love to get to this one. Next up is The Infinity Quartz by Akemi Dawn Bowman. I felt like this one was good for spring because it's a sci-fi fantasy story, but I've thought of like rebirth because it's about this girl who everything in her life is all set, but then she's on her way to this party and she ends up dying, and she wakes up in this, like, I forget, oh, the Infinity Quartz is what it's called. Wow, dumb. But that is where human consciousness goes when your physical body dies. And it turns out that there is like this AI system that has been taking over the Infinity Quartz and is trying to eradicate human existence. So like, there's a lot happening there that has me so intrigued. Seems like a really unique and very interesting story. Next is A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow by Laura Taylor Namey. This book looks so adorable and it also sounds so adorable. So the main character is really struggling. Her mental health has not been great. So her mother ends up sending her to London, England to try and turn things around. And I love that. Like, I love reading travel books, and a book about a girl who is going to like find herself and sort out her life in London, England sounds amazing. Like, I can't travel right now, obviously. So anything about travel, I would absolutely love to read, because now the wanderlust bug is hitting me real hard, honestly. I think I just said honestly twice in like 2 seconds, but whatever. Next up is Kind of a Big Deal by Shannon Hale. So this is Shannon Hale's latest YA book. She hasn't come out with one in a while. Like Book of 1,000 Days and then the Books of Bayern series are the last ones, but this one seems very interesting. So it's about a girl who she is hoping to make it big on Broadway, and she also has the ability to like live in the life of books. So she, like, things in real life aren't going exactly as planned. She risked a lot and it ends up not paying off. So then she's going through all these books to try and find somewhere she belongs and somewhere she is happy. I think that seems really interesting and definitely like a unique concept. So definitely what I'm looking forward to. Next up is A Taste for Love by Jennifer Yen. Everything about this sounds adorable and it just makes me want to read it immediately. But it is about this girl who she can never quite meet her mother's expectations. So her mother, like, they bond over cooking. So her mother makes this baking competition and it ends up like, she's like, okay, cool. But then it ends up being a ploy where all of the contestants are Asian American men that she wants her daughter to like choose one of them to date. I just think that sounds like it's gonna be so funny, so fun, but amazing, and everything about it, like, that sounds just so lovely. Next is Game Changer by Neal Shusterman. So Neal Shusterman is the author of Scythe and Unwind. He writes really weird books, but like, I tend to really like them. And this one is also, I don't know where he comes up with these concepts. They are fascinating to me. So in Game Changer, it is about football because the main character gets a concussion and it sends him to an alternate reality. Like, what? I want to see how that's gonna play out, if you will, and just the most fascinating concepts, honestly. And finally is In Deeper Waters by F.T. Lukens. This just sounds like the most adorable queer romance, and it's set on a ship, and it like is a boy who is on his coming of age trip, and it is described as a swoony high seas adventure perfect for fans of Pirates of the Caribbean and The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. Pirates and princes, magic and mayhem, this book has it all. Like, that sounds so good. So this, like, I think the colors of it are like making me think spring. I don't know, but like, it sounds adorable and I really want to read it. So thank you once again so much to Care Of for partnering with me for today's video. Don't forget to check them out in the link down below. Please let me know if you have read any of these books, your thoughts on them, what you were hoping to read this spring, and I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in a new one soon. Bye!